So, hello everyone. This is the screencast for the administrative reports. These reports are the reports provided by the assignment themselves, with the first two being the statistics report and the last two being the exceptions report. So, moving into the first report, the number of messages report, this is to show the number of messages made in the last 7 days. So, you can, with messages, messaging was broken into two pieces, a message and a reply. And this report provides both messages and reply, well, information about both of them. So you can view the total messages and replies in the last 7 days. This is a total of 5. You can scroll down and see the total number of messages in the past 7 days was 3. You view the dates that these messages were sent and their amount on this graph. This graph is actually powered by the Google Charts API. Um, so it is very responsive to user interaction. In addition to these graphs, a breakdown of the actual messages themselves are also provided, so you can view the message ID, sender, recipient, title, content, and the dates. Again, similar to the dashboards, these dates are well within the bracket of today's date, the 5th, and 7 days before this date being the 29th of October. And that can be seen here. So this is the 31st, and this is the 5th. The 5th being today, 31st being last week Wednesday. The replies follow similar fashion where you can view the date of the replies and their amount. And again, you can view the more detailed view, the ID, sender, recipient, title, content, message ID that the reply is for, and the dates. And very similar to the messaging up here, the replies also follows um, the concept of adhering to the between today and last 7 days constraint. So moving away from this statistics report and into the tutor messages report, this is to show the average number of tutor messages. In the assignment, no criteria for the average was provided, so the assumption that the averages should be done for the last 7 days was done. So as the admin, you can view tutor messages or all messages sent by tutor in the last 7 days. So you can see Stephanie Ramdas, her average is 0.2 or 0.3 if you round it, because she only sent 2 messages. So to supplement these graphs, tables with the raw information are provided. In future, these tables will be collapsible to prevent any kind of clutter. But for now, these tables, you can view the actual number of messages sent and the average number of messages, um, considering the average for 7 days. The same thing can be said for the message received. You can view the number of messages received, average number of messages. Same thing for replies, very similar. The graph provides the average, and the tables provide the raw information and who sent it, tutor ID, and so on. Very similar. All of these graphs of past 7 days. We want in future graphs average messages for the last 7 days will also be done, and perhaps reports for uploads in the last 7 days as well. So moving away from statistics and going into the exception reports, the first exception report is student allocation report. So this student allocation report shows all students, all unallocated students and all allocated students. So the assignment asked only for allocated students, but the total allocated students were also provided to add value to the report itself. So you can view here a comparison of the unallocated students versus the allocated students. And you can actually view students with tutors. So you can view all students with tutors that make up the 75%, or you can view students without tutors. So you can view the one student who doesn't have a tutor, and you can go on the allocation screen to allocate them and so on. Moving away from this allocation report and moving towards the last exception report, the student interaction report. As said in the dashboards screencast, interaction is based on 4 different criteria: messages received, replies received, meetings, and document uploads, all by the tutor or with the tutor in the case of the meetings. So with this graph, you can view students with no interaction for 7 days, students with interaction for 7 days, and you can view students who fall into this bracket, the actual detailed view. I will say that this report only considers students who have been allocated. So in the report menu in the allocation report here, we saw a count of 4 with 3 allocated students and 1 unallocated student. In the interaction report, it only considers students who have been allocated. As a result, only 3 students are shown. But moving away from the 7 interaction for 7 days, there's also the interaction for 28 days. So you can see again another chart that provides interaction information and a detailed view of the student. There is an issue with these charts in that the Google API charts or the Google Charts API, while very good, is not responsive, as you can see. A lot of them follow this common trend of not being very responsive. Their responsiveness usually has to be developed using CSS, but because of time constraints, we didn't get around to doing that. So mobile devices using report menu will suffer, but tablets and desktops and laptops will not. That's basically the end of the reports, and thank you for listening and watching.